What is up, guys? It's Gathalion, and I'm here today to talk about a couple new toys that I got from GX Gaming. I received a Manticore keyboard and a Gila gaming mouse early on this week, and I wanted to give it a solid 5 days to play with these units. Oh, look at that scorpion. That is sweet. It's got scorpions on it. The first thing I saw when I got this was the scorpion coaster that they sent with it, and I'm like, that is my new coaster, 100%. But we're not here to talk about the scorpion coaster. We're here to talk about the Gila gaming mouse and the Gila Manticore gaming keyboard, and these things are an RTS, first-person shooter, and MMO player's dream. There's so many macros and features, and as you can see, I have fully illuminated my keyboard with that King Gathalion purple that I like to use on anything that I can, because you know that purple is the color of royalty. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about all the different features. You can set the illuminations on the keyboard individually by hitting that button I'm pressing up there near the media buttons. This thing is loaded with features. It's got all the media buttons on it. You know, it's got that play, the mute, and the volumes. And on top of that, you can manually on the fly set macros with the button up there, with the macro record button. It's got 3 different sections for lighting up this keyboard. It is 100% customizable with those lighting effects, and it is awesome. Now we're gonna look at the Gila mouse. Look at this thing. Look at it. That is so awesome. Of course, on the side, it has these little rubber grippies on them, and it really gives you a nice edge with the mouse. Because I've used a few mice that I don't like the sides of them. It just feels like your fingers sort of slip around. This thing has 12 buttons on it. It has 2 on the side where your thumb go. It has the left and right click. And then it has 2 more buttons on the right side, 2 buttons on the left side, the scroll wheel, which is clickable, and then 3 buttons in the center, which ends up giving you a total of 12 clickable, fully programmable buttons. As far as lighting, there are 3 segments. There's the front that has an LED, there's the scroll wheel, and the GX logo, which are programmed together for lighting. And then it has the 2 lights on the back, which are fully customizable. You could pretty much any color you could think of, you could set this mouse to. On top, this is one thing I really like is, see that plastic bit where the braided mouse cable goes to? I like how that pushes it off of the mouse a bit so you don't end up getting the mouse cable tangled at all. Anybody else who's into customization, you're gonna love this next part. There's actually a compartment on the bottom of the mouse where you can put small weights. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weights that you can put into the bottom. So if you want your mouse to be relatively light, you could do that. Or if you want it to have just a little bit of bulk, I've been trying it around. I like either 2 or 3 weights in it. And this thing, it just works wonders. I love this mouse and keyboard. I've played with it for about almost a week now, and I honestly have nothing negative to say about it, especially from a hardware and build side. And both of these products are, I think, about $70 US on Newegg. I'll give you guys a link in the description. Check that out. And before we head out, let's take a look at the software side, because both the Gila mouse and the Manticore keyboard come packed with really nice software. They're both a pretty similar UI. My only complaint with this software is if you get 2 of these products, you end up having 2 separate icons running in the taskbar, both the Gila driver config and the Manticore driver config, and this really isn't a big deal, but I kind of like my stuff unified. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, and the software packaged in is so easy to use. For the mouse, the Gila mouse, you're gonna have up to 6 profiles programmable on this sucker, and it's really easy to set up macros. Each one of the 12 buttons is programmable to whatever you want to set it to. So say you have a few games, like first-person shooters or RTS games or MMOs, and you want to set up several profiles. Well, you're set here, dudes. I mean, this mouse from start to finish has been so easy to set up, and the ability to make custom macros, with being able to control even the delay on the milliseconds between keystrokes is really, really nice. And it's especially great for people who are really on the competitive scene of things, or if you're wanting to just put a little bit more edge onto your game using macros. Again, these macros are assignable to each of these keys. As you can see, you could go from even normal mouse functions, starting up programs on Windows, individual macros on each of these 12 keys. Like I said, there are 2 buttons on the side. There are, let's see, there's the right click, left click, and then 4 buttons on top, and then another set of 4 buttons on top if you include the scroll wheel, which is a clickable, so that button is also settable to macros. So there's just a lot of individual settings that you can do on the mouse with macros and such. Obviously, you're going to be able to tweak your DPI setting however you like it. Whenever I'm just on normal Windows, I tend to use a pretty low DPI setting, but you could go all the way up to 8200 DPI and up your sensitivity to quite a bit. So this is my mouse moving around on the lowest sensitivity, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump up the DPI just a little bit. I actually have on my screen or my mouse a button that, you know, it has the DPI setting, and then you have those, this is how sensitive it is at that point. So this is a little much for me for on Windows, but for first-person shooters and RTS, the high DPI is awesome. It's just awesome, and I really love this mouse. And if you're an MMO gamer or an RTS gamer, this thing is gonna give you a huge edge. I love how the buttons are on top of the mouse. I can't say that enough. There's some gaming mice that just, they tend to have all the buttons on the side, and that's weird to me. This does have an ambidextrous design to it, though it seems to favor righties with the 2 clickables where the right thumb would go. The next thing we're gonna look at on the mouse is, of course, the lighting options, and you have a full range color palette. Any color you could think of, you can make on this thing. I go with purple because that's sort of my theme. I like the purple that I put on the mouse and keyboard. But if you wanted to, you could go full-on America status with this and go red, white, and blue. Really easy to set up. You'll just go over here and I'm gonna click red, or no, that's pink. Where's red at? There's red. Red. And then let's get America going on white, and then we'll get blue, and then we would have America mouse. We would have America. All right, so now that we've made our America mouse and we've seen all the basic settings and all the advanced settings, this thing's great, dude. I love the Gila Mouse. It's hands down the best mouse I've ever used. Now we're gonna look at the Manticore settings. Very similar. The keyboard does actually have 3 different profiles you could do, and each profile you could set custom keys to all of these G keys over here. You have G1 through 8. So you have 8 programmable keys over here, and I kind of like how they're staggered and they're also angled. So when you're reaching over with your finger, it's really easy to tell which key you're on, especially if you're not quite used to the keyboard yet. So you have a good feel to where your keys are, and it's gonna feel a lot more natural than if you go over there and it's just a cluster of keys. And you can set macros, anything, just like you could on the Gila Mouse, to the Manticore keyboard. And I really like these macros. I have a few setups made. I have one for while I'm streaming to control my music and hotkey loading different scenes. On, of course, like MMOs and RTSs, you could set up macros and such, just like you could on the Gila Mouse, and it all works out really well. And then let's talk about, well, here's your macro page. Just like the macro page on the Gila Mouse, you could set them up. It's very customizable. Advanced settings, this is where you get all your profiles set up, and you can get applications that specifically will launch the profiles, and you can load profile, save profile. Anyways, so then the last part is, of course, is the lighting on the keyboard. You have 3 sectors of lighting. You have the main part of the keyboard, anything above the directional keys, and then you have the number pad. And you can be as patriotic as you want with these as well. And if you're not an American, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm gonna set these up America keyboard, because why not? There you go. There you go. Super America keyboard. I love the Manticore, dude. This is the first like gaming keyboard that I've really enjoyed using. And it's just wonderful. It has so much customization on it, and the LED lighting is, I mean, we're gamers, and gamers love to customize stuff. So, absolutely great software, so easy to use for both the Manticore and the Gila Mouse. If you've never used anything like this, it's so intuitive and so easy to set up all your macros and hotkeys and switch this and that around and set up the lighting on the keyboard. I mean, as soon as you hit apply, it launches over to the keyboard, and it's pretty cool, dude. So that's it from the software perspective. Absolutely great software. So now that we've looked at hardware, features, and software, I'm gonna cut down to the nitty-gritty. How do I feel about these as a purchase? How do I feel about them as a gamer? I love these products. For the price point, they are easily competing with and beating on many levels the competition. Now, I've played with a few keyboard and mice combos before landing on this one. I've played with them at both friends' houses and stores and demoed a few, but I love these pieces of hardware. If you are coming from console, it's a very easy switch over to these mouse and keyboard combos. If you're a hardcore PC gamer, all the bells and whistles are there, all the customization. There's really no reason you guys shouldn't at least check out GX Gaming. They're not a huge name yet, but believe me, with quality builds like this, I can't help but feel good about the company's future. I can't say enough about the feel and quality. It feels like good quality. You know how sometimes when you buy a piece of hardware, it just feels like, this feels like it's gonna break. It feels cheap. These pieces of hardware feel like they're good quality. It feels good. The mouse fits in your hand great. The materials that it's made out of are such high quality that I can't use that word enough. So should you buy it? Absolutely. If you're looking for a new mouse and keyboard combo, or if you're just getting into PC gaming, absolutely, I can't recommend this combo enough. Anyways, guys, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.